Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Back to the Basics. My name is Sonic, and with me today, as always, is my good buddy, Tails.
It's Miles!
Tails, what are we talking about today, man?
We are talking about our brand new feature film. Well, his brand new feature film. Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm super excited. We just got done watching the movie. This is our first reaction.
Yeah,
and
we gotta go fast.
Okay.
Let's go fast, Tails.
You know what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
I'm rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go.
Gonna make a supersonic man out of you.
Yeah, and for everyone listening, we do have audio versions of our podcast. We do have video versions of our podcast. So whatever suits your preference, we got you. And before we jump into today's episode, Sonic, you did defeat Robotnik, right?
Oh yeah, man! I threw some rings at him, sent him to other worlds, and you know, we may never see him again.
Well, hopefully we don't, because we got to be out here saving the animals.
But until then, until next time, when Robotnik comes back, let's go fast. Roll the intro.
Sonic the Hedgehog, my friend.
Sonic, man.
After this whole time, I didn't get to watch this movie in theaters. And after this whole time, after the whole controversy thing with the redesign, the Sonic redesign, after all this, I avoided spoilers for the most part. But now watching the movie, well, I did know Tails was at the end of the movie.
I didn't even know that.
But check this out. You know, so funny. I said I avoided spoilers this whole time, right? Mm-hmm. Movie just came out recently on, we got the copy right there.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how I say avoided spoilers. There's nothing to spoil.
What do you mean?
That's facts. What is okay? Mean? It's Sonic. It's Dr. Robotnik. What is in this movie that you would consider spoilers? Nothing. He fights Robotnik. Movie ends. The only spoiler,
I mean, that's the classic,
would be Tails.
That's the classic storyline, though. You know, you got Sonic and Dr. Robotnik. Of course, they're gonna have a war. I mean, what more can you do? What more can you ask for?
How many Sonic video games have you played?
I've played probably about from the original, because I remember you text me and you asked me, you were like, you ever played Sonic 4? I was like,
so you haven't played Sonic 4?
No.
Okay.
Never played Sonic 4. I believe at one time I owned like the Sonic like trilogy, or I think it was like a Sonic SEGA collection or something. I think
there's generations. I don't know.
That rings a bell.
And I thought it was really cool because I guess people online do kind of, which I don't know why, but like, because there was Baby Sonic. You see little Baby Sonic.
That was cool, man.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
Probably some of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool to see just
Baby Sonic.
Just that little bit. And they only show you for a little bit. And that's what's cool is you get like a little glimpse. But I think we were talking about it and you wanted more, right?
Dude.
You wanted more of Sonic?
Okay, so we had talked, and I said there was only a few things that I wanted out of this movie. Very first Sega Genesis game I ever played, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mine
right?
too, yeah.
And Sonic, something about Sonic growing up as a kid and learning how to plug in your RCA jacks, into your CRT television, like that was a big thing for me. Yeah. And I remember actually in this room right over here, that was where I learned myself on how to plug in the Sega Genesis. My grandparents, they didn't know how to plug it in. My uncle, he didn't know how to plug it in.
Yeah.
And so I learned how to plug in the Sega Genesis into this TV and the Sega, and to see all 32 bits of Sonic. Mind shattering, dude. So Sonic has always been something beyond special, super nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? I thought we were going to get a Sonic movie back in the 90s, which I feel like this movie could have easily have been in the
Mm-hmm.
90s without the CGI. But all I said is I want him to eat a chili dog. One of the only things I want is a
Hey,
chili dog.
you got it, dude.
Got the chili
You
dog.
got the chili dog, and so that was the one thing that you asked for, and I knew it was coming, so I was like, just wait for it, you know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as epic. I think you probably thought it was gonna be like this memorable moment where he like
Yeah.
references the chili dog, or he like, and it was just like very quick. And there were a lot of things I think in the movie that were very quick. Like if you didn't catch it, I think you pointed out, you were like, "Yo, that's the Sega symbol, like backwards," or "That's the Sega Genesis
It
symbol."
looked like the Sega Saturn symbol.
Oh, Sega Saturn.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, and I didn't catch that the
Saturn,
first time.
the Saturn S. It was
Yeah.
that same font.
I didn't catch that the first time when I watched it in theaters. And there was a lot of stuff that going back and watching it now the second time on on this platform, I was able to catch and see like some of the graphics or the visual effects were a little bit lacking, which you don't see in theaters, maybe because the screen's so big and so wide.
I think CGI just looks like shit on Blu-ray.
Maybe. Yeah, that might be it.
It looked better on DVD.
Hmm.
CGI, the difference.
It's just too high def.
Well, no, the way I think it's just the human eye.
Yeah.
We can pick up and we can recognize what's real and what's not. So when we see a human body or
It's
a
like
car,
your eye just goes to it.
yeah, and then when you see the frame, I think it's a frame rate. And so
Yeah.
when you see something that is on a green screen and it moves past something that is real, I think our eyes just pick it up, and it's like it don't fit, it don't look right.
Yeah, and so I was seeing a lot of that in this film. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, well, that's super CG.
Mhm.
That's super. So there's not a lot of practicality in this film.
No.
Most of the robots and Sonic,
Everything was CG besides
the people,
and
I
that
guess,
truck
right?
and the
What-
bar.
was his truck, his
truck.
actual pickup truck. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about Dr. Robotnik's truck. I was
No.
like, that was probably CGI
I think
too.
a lot of it was CGI.
Yeah.
The redesign. Let's talk about that before we get into
Okay.
some
Yeah.
of the stuff.
Did you like the redesign?
I had made statements when the trailer first came out. I said, I don't care if it gets redesigned or not. I'm going to love this movie. I'm a fan of a lot of these franchises that have movies nowadays or that's come out, i.e. Dragon Ball Z Evolution.
Oh, man.
I enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things I like about that movie, and so a movie comes out and a lot of people talk shit on it, right? A lot of these
course,
franchises from
yeah.
the 80s and the 90s and such, cartoons, video games, people love to hate. And I think what drives me to just really like something that a lot of people talk shit on is just the reaction of when I say, I love Dragon Ball Z Evolution.
So you like seeing them get all like riled up?
Yeah, what are you so angry about? It's a movie.
Yeah. Like someone took their time and love and put their energy into that film to make something for
Enjoyment
people
and money.
for an audience.
Yeah.
And they wanted to tell that story,
Yeah.
and so that's the thing that I'll always love is people who want to tell stories, who take these epic franchises and these properties and kind of want to tell their side of it. And so that's why I do love this Sonic movie. I'll just go out there and say I do love it. Is there stuff that it's lacking or stuff that I think could have been improved upon? Of course.
Yeah.
And one of those things was the score.
The music was legitimately, absolutely shit.
I wouldn't say it was shit.
It was shit.
Okay, it was shit
Besides,
except for
besides
Supersonic Man.
the Queen song
Yes.
by Queen, right?
That one fit perfectly.
That fit. It was good, and it started it started good,
It started with that pace that I love.
right?
If you're talking about Sonic
Let's go fast.
and going fast,
Momentum.
why not have that 80s, 90s momentum that and you can see or you can hear that it's in the outro, the out music of the movie. That Wiz Khalifa song?
That Wiz
It
Khalifa
has
song.
straight up 8-bit, dude.
Excuse me. Yeah, and honestly, okay. So you can tell, like, I'm not a Wiz Khalifa fan.
Me neither.
I've never liked a lot of the things, but the one thing I don't know if you've caught is Wiz Khalifa was on was it Mortal Kombat 10 trailer? I think that was Wiz Khalifa.
He might have even been in Ninja Turtles, yeah.
So we have Mortal Kombat, Ninja Turtles, and now Sonic.
Nerd, dude.
So he's a nerd,
yeah.
And so for that, big ups. I might have to try it. I've listened to some of his music, and it's catchy. It's just you smoke a lot of weed. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that. But when I watched the trailer and this song came out, when I heard the song, I was just like, here we go again, another Wiz Khalifa.
Of course, yeah.
Because I felt like that in Ninja Turtles.
Another one.
But I love the new Ninja Turtles movies, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I gotta say that song, this Wiz Khalifa Sonic song, is one of the best parts of the movie.
And I said it too.
And
during
the music
movie.
video, though. Like, have you watched the actual music video?
No.
It's like Little Yachi or whatever those people are. Yachi. Little Yachty. Little Yachi. I don't fucking know, dude.
Little Yachty.
21.
No.
But the thing is that if you watch the music video to that, it's dope, dude. They're all like kicking back, playing Sega, and it's got like
cool.
the vibes, and they're just like, and it's enjoyable, even though it's a new version of hip hop that I'm not really keen to. It's enjoyable.
That's cool, man.
And it set a tone, though. This is what I'm getting to.
Yeah,
it set a tone
for the film.
movie.
Yeah,
and that was never reached.
So you're saying in the trailers it set a tone. It set like a anticipation, right? You're like, okay, cool. You're gonna get this 8-bit, this like catchy music. Call back to retro nostalgia, to a game that was made in the 90s. And that's what this film could have capitalized on, and it didn't.
It didn't at all.
Yeah,
there was no call. There was
just
calls.
The Queen song. The Queen song. It was perfect. It felt the film perfect. I wanted to hear that Supersonic.
And
I think they played it in the trailer. That's what I was talking about. I think there was a trailer. Correct me if I'm wrong. That capitalized on the Supersonic.
Well, going back to the redesign, one of the first songs they played was "Gangsta's Paradise," and the internet lit up. No,
why not put that in the film?
But the internet lit up like, what does that song have anything to do with Sonic? I thought
it was dope though.
Okay,
I remember watching it and I was like, Gangsta's Paradise. Yeah, don't got nothing to do with Sonic.
But it's Sonic listening to Gangsta's Paradise. That's the thing.
That's cool.
He's listening
because
to
he's
the culture.
Retro,
and he's reading comic books, doing all that shit. Yeah, and so he's into that. Okay,
because he's finding out the culture of the world.
The culture of the world. The redesign. What did you think of it? Before you knew they were going to redo it.
Yeah.
We saw that look. You got a T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Is that the redesign?
So this is the redesign. This is the new one. I like the new one. But before I even knew that there was a new one, when I first saw the trailer, the original trailer with the original design, it looked a little off to me, but I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, okay, cool, Sonic. Like, I was actually brought in because of the score, because of that. And the one thing that I said when people had asked about it was that he looked a little like a character from that Jumanji movie, the little kid, when he starts turning into a monkey. His face has like that pointed tip nose.
Okay. This looks a little off.
And it looked dead on like that kid. And I was like, I think Jumanji gonna sue somebody, cause they literally took that kid and his face and they like plastered it on.
Okay.
It looks like super uncanny. Just look up the GIF and you'll see it. But yeah, it looks dead on like the Sonic that they were gonna put out, and I was like, yikes! Like, I remember thinking like, oof, if that's Sonic, like this is not gonna go good. And then of course the studio listened to the fans, and that's one thing that you're starting to see now. Is,
do you think they actually did that, or do you think that was
that's the
part
other theory
of advertisement?
Yeah, is now you're having a lot of, maybe studios are doing that. They're saying, hey, we're gonna give you shit and then get you invested because you're so passionate that it looks like shit.
You know what I'm gonna say right now? I'm gonna say something that might be a little off the wall, might be a little conspiratorial.
Oh God.
Okay.
Get ready for the rabbit hole.
what if you think these studios are being so, um, you think they're listening to people? I don't think they're listening to nobody. They don't give two rats ass what 50,000 people think, 100,000, 250,000 people. They're going to make their properties the way they make their properties.
Oh, at the end of the day,
check
of
this
course,
out.
yeah.
What if this studio, Paramount, whatever, what if they knew in today's, what's unfortunate in today's social media culture, shit gets more publicity,
it sells,
than anything.
Yeah.
So what if they said, we're going to come out with this preliminary design that we had of a realistic Sonic. We're going to put it out there. We already know there's going to be backlash. Now you touch anything game related, the gamers have a voice.
Oh yeah. YouTube, Twitter.
Gamers have like now influenced into this film, into this bigger, broader audience of this whole platform.
I think they said it in the film. Welcome to my live stream.
Welcome
right?
to my live stream, Sonic.
Yeah,
that'd be dope. I'd watch Sonic every day if you had a live stream. But I think that this could have been marketing for, because what are they gonna do? Oh, there's huge backlash. He looks like shit. We've been waiting for this our whole lives.
Well, people
give
are
us the
passionate
Sonic
about it. Yeah.
that we think we
know and
deserve,
love.
right?
Yeah.
They
video
said,
game Sonic.
okay, we're gonna listen to you. We're gonna completely change our entire multi-million-dollar fucking movie that we've already made in what, 2-3 months, and we're gonna completely redesign Sonic to look more like Sonic. You don't think that we had this Sonic in mind the whole time? I'm sorry, dude. That it just, to me, I don't buy it. It's if I was a fish and that was bait, I'm not biting, dude. I am not biting on the fact that they redesigned it because of the fans, because of some odd 1,000 people on Twitter, dude. I'm sorry. No film, no studio, and I'm not going to get specific, but no studio, I don't believe, is going to re-release or redesign. And you can say, oh, this or that. But, dude, I think you're all being played. I think this is nothing but marketing. These people for these multi-million, billion-dollar industries are smarter than the consumers. I'm sorry, dude. This is marketing. Give the people, they think they have the power. They were only handed the power.
Yeah.
It's a false reality, dude.
And we all living in it, you know what I'm saying?
That's just how I feel, dude. I honestly, I think this was marketing, and I think you're starting to see this.
It's very smart, yeah.
To give the consumer, you
think you're in control.
You think you're,
yeah.
There you go.
And
you're not, dude.
It is a falsity, a false reality, and it gets everyone on board, because now you have a bunch of passionate fans who are already passionate, and okay, you give them what they want from the get-go. Okay, they might be on board. You might have some people who love it, some people who hate it. But if you give them shit at the beginning, everybody hates it. And then you turn around and you're like, hey, we fixed it. Now everybody who hated it is now on board.
Yeah.
So it's give and take. That's
why I say it's a little conspiratorial.
Yeah.
But that's something that I do believe in.
And it might be true, man. But you got a lot of people who did go out and see this movie because they changed it. They're like, yeah, now that's Sonic.
That looks like the Sonic.
That looks like the Sonic that I grew up with, that I watched in SEGA Sonic.
Let's talk about that.
And I mentioned that before. And when I was growing up, I was so young and impressionable that I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Every time Sonic came on, that was SEGA. And SEGA was Sonic. So anytime the intro, the classic SEGA came on in my head, it was Sonic.
That's nutty.
It's just something that I remember growing up.
You told me that a while back, and I was just like, you won't have to tell that on a podcast, because that's interesting. That's fun to know.
I mashed the 2 up together. You know what I mean?
SEGA and Sonic, though. You say
that's what it is.
You say that to anybody.
Yeah.
It's like Mario. I had said
Mario
that on one of the episodes. You say Mario in any country, there's a high chance that they know what you're talking about.
It's the face of the franchise, and that's what kind of Sonic is for SEGA. Like you saw, it's a SEGA original film. and that's what they put. That was the like one of the first thing that comes on.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that the first time, it got my mind turning. I was like, okay, so they got original films now.
Yeah.
So what else do they have lined up?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that intro with the different pictures and the video games and everything. And just that right there alludes to, we have all these video games and all these properties.
We gonna
That
make
at any time we can make whatever we want.
any movie, dude. They had Knights. They gonna make a Knights movie. I already know. It might be in like 10, 15 years. They're gonna end up making a Knights movie. Space Channel 5.
But that's what you have with all these kids who grew up, who are now adults, who love video games, are very passionate about these movies, and this is just the first film that Sega can capitalize on and pump out more and make more. And we already know Sonic 2, it's coming, dude. Sonic 2. They show Tails.
Yeah. And he looks, his
He
voice is
looks
amazing.
so great too.
His voice is amazing.
That was the first time I seen him. So
you went to the movie theater. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
You went to the movie theater, you watched the movie, and then you walked out, and it's only like a minute and 30 seconds.
I know.
2 minutes into the, what do you call that? The mid-roll
yeah,
scene? I don't know what people call those.
Because you got the
Credit
outro,
scene.
you got the credit scene, and then like
Tails
a
comes to
minute
Earth.
into it, you see Tails, and he's looking for Sonic.
He says, oh, he must be here. And he goes down into Green Hills.
So sick. And I was told that there was no after credit scene. So like a dummy, I believed it. And I was like, okay, well, cool. That was a cool movie. I
Caught
thought
some of that fake news.
I thought we already had the end credit scene with Eggman trying to get back to Earth.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
zzz,
I love, okay.
that was sick.
Eggman, Jim Carrey's best part of the movie.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
And I told you when I walked out of the theater the first time,
Mm-hmm.
of course I love Sonic. Sonic was sick in the movie, but I really focused on Eggman. I really focused on Jim Carrey's portrayal of Eggman because
Yeah.
it was something like, not something I never seen, but it was like another classic character that Jim Carrey brought to life. You got Grinch, you got Ace Ventura, you got the Mask, you got the Riddler, like all these great characters, right, that he's done over the course of like 30, 40 years. And now you got a classic video game character like Eggman, and he's tackling it and he wants to do it. And if you see the like interviews with him, he's like actually passionate about it.
He's into it. Yeah.
And it's like the first role that he's been into, I think, since like the Grinch.
And that's interesting to me. Like I've watched that and I was just like, why is he into that? But
I don't know. There's certain characters that just like bring something out of you.
well, he's all into that weird shit right now. You know, we won't get into that, but yeah, there you go. Jim Carrey was awesome, and
it was cool to see his take on it. What'd you think about that?
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, talk a little bit about that.
He definitely sold the role. A lot of people, I've heard even from people that don't even like really watch movies and or are passionate about like 90s franchises like this and stuff. They all said, he's not fat. Okay, I get it, dude,
but he might be in the next one.
How many Batman Begin movies do we need to realize this is a prequel? This is like a setup. This is setting up this world.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you mentioned Sega. This movie's, and Sonic even says it. He says, what is the words he used? He's talking about the rings, the portals. He says advanced societies use rings.
He said all of them do it.
All of them.
All of them.
And we saw different universes in the Sega.
Different worlds. Yeah.
Different worlds in the Sega intro to the Sega originals.
Yeah.
So, what if this movie is a giant springboard into the multiple worlds, multiple realities of Sega?
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is the platform for everything else to come after this. This was the testing ground. It was the drop in the bucket.
That's why it wasn't amazing.
It was the first of its kind.
It was
It was the first Sega movie ever, and they really pushed the family-friendly agenda, atmosphere, whatever you want to call it.
You go agenda to atmosphere. Those are two different things.
Yeah, but the whole movie, you can tell.
was a family.
made
It was
for
a family
families.
focus. It was a family focused
Family
movie.
focused.
It
There
was
you
it was
go.
very family oriented.
Yes.
And I don't have a problem with that. Sonic is a
Well,
children's
it's a kids game. Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, it's a kids game.
I mean, the only time you really get into more darker versions, darker storylines of Sonic is like comic books, and some of the cartoons were more teen focused.
It would be cool to see that later on, maybe. To see like them move away from maybe the shove in your face family friendly ha 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 to a little more serious Sonic, like as he's on Earth longer and shit's getting real and now there's problems. To see Eggman actually come back and he's like, I'm going to destroy this world.
Yes. Now that he knows that there's other worlds, he might want to destroy Earth.
I'm going to take over not just this world, but the next world and the next world and the whole universe, basically. So that will be very interesting to see.
And not only all of that, but I needed a little bit of time after watching this movie. We kind of jumped right into the podcast, and I'm gonna have to watch. This is definitely a movie I'm gonna have to watch multiple times.
Yeah, you got to watch it again.
But what I said is, you had mentioned filler. Sonic walks into that bar. Okay, we got bikers, we got country folk, and all stuff like that. And I said automatically, like, they're at the liquor store, and then all of a sudden Sonic like turns to the side, and there's like this big scene. Like, they didn't notice all 30 people standing outside.
Yeah.
Woo! Dancing.
It's like a side quest in an RPG game, right?
It was a side
quest. You got the main quest, and then whoop,
side quest.
Sonic just goes side quest.
Totally out of place.
Yeah.
The entire bar scene
don't even belong there.
Totally out of place. I had mentioned something like they should have stumbled upon a carnival.
Okay. Yeah,
the
you
colors,
would like to see that more.
The ding 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 could have been like bells or rings. There could have been so much more of a nostalgic, more of a callback to the 90s, or could have been an arcade.
Ooh, dude.
If they would have went into like through an arcade.
If they go to see,
I think where this movie stumbled, it had nothing to do. Well, thank the good Lord we got the redesign.
Yeah.
The sounds, there were a few sound effects throughout the movie when he grabs the ring. And certain things that were an ode to the original sound effects.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack was abysmal. The environments were absolutely terrible. I'm going to have to go on. Okay, I'm going into a little bit of the negatives now. I haven't even think he said anything positive. But I had to... Okay.
You got to get the negatives out of the way.
The human characters in this movie suck. Okay? I'm going to go into a rant.
I like Donut Lord.
Donut Lord was fun.
Donut Lord's cool.
But what I'm trying to say is they were out of place.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned right when the movie ended that I felt like the studio said, okay, this is what we want to do with Sonic. This is how it's going to start, end, whatever. But we need this filler. We need these human characters, right?
Of course, yeah.
And I'm going to get into Transformers here in a second.
Uh-oh.
But we need these human characters. And I feel like all of that, the highway scene, the bar scene, I feel like all of that was just from a different script that had already been written, and the studio says, hey, yo, that one movie that we didn't do yet, or that one script, take those scenes out and just shove it in. I had used kind of an analogy of when you're a kid and you got those little plastic cutouts and you're trying to fit them in that toy into the right slots.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're just bashing it, like make it go in, make the circle go into the square. And the studio forced it in. And there were so many scenes that were just so forced, and there was no character development for these characters. Why do I care about these people? And I feel like maybe they did shoot that, and they didn't use it. The movie felt like it was heavily edited.
So release the Sonic cut. Oh god, is that what I'm getting here? Studio rushed it. More clips unseen.
Look,
try to put out a movie that wasn't supposed to.
Does it not feel heavily edited?
Yeah.
Too short.
There's a lot of stuff that just kind of doesn't make sense. Even some of the things that Jim Carrey does, Eggman, some of the things that he says, or that it's placed like almost
out of place
too perfectly for you, like the Olive Garden, like ad.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't need that in a film. You don't need to plug Olive Garden. Okay, they're your sponsor. They probably want you to plug them, right?
But you had said
You
something
get
about the first time you watched it, you didn't
I didn't
catch the
catch it.
Olive
Yeah.
Garden. There's multiple Olive Garden little
Mm-hmm.
scenes, and you said this time we had just watched it. You said it took you out of the world.
Yeah. And that's the
You don't want
thing.
that in a movie.
Exactly. If something takes you out of that movie's world and
Yeah.
brings you back to your world, your reality, that's a problem for me in a film because for me, I don't know if there's other people out there like me, I want to be lost in a film
Mm-hmm.
for a couple hours. I want to be lost in a franchise. I want to see Spider-Man swinging from, building to building and learn all about what he's going through. I don't want to
Yeah.
think about, oh,
Pizza Hut.
I'm gonna go get Subway after this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think there's films who do advertisement very well, and it's like in the background.
It's like in Man of Steel, Denny's. Wasn't
Yeah,
it
they
Denny's
got
or
Denny's.
IHOP?
I think they got IHOP.
Those
I
are
think there's
IHOP.
even a 7-Eleven in there,
Yeah.
and it's just very much in the background.
It took me out of the world. But then you would have those that say it makes it immersive because it's in our
That's
world.
true.
Well, guess
Yeah.
what? This world sucks. I want to see another world.
You want to go into a different world. You want to be lost. You want to go into a fantasy.
Never-ending story type shit.
Yeah, and I think that this movie just does it in a way that
It didn't do it at all.
for me, it's just too much on the nose. Is just very like
You
in your
and-
face.
What is up with you and Sonic's nose?
He got a little button nose. Little, it's cute.
One thing that made me a Sonic fan on Sega Genesis is it's the Sonic takes you to different worlds, different
Warp
zones,
Yeah.
different zones. Going into another zone,
World 5.
what did you always have? You had different colors.
Mm-hmm.
You had the music. One of the biggest things is the soundtrack to any Sonic game. Ask any Sonic fan, and it's the music, dude.
And they put that in the movie, very subtle. And I like that they did that. They played it on like a piano, and it was very subtle in the background towards the end of the movie. But I'm like, where was that the whole movie? You could have literally very subtly put in like he yeah, just something that keeps the plot line moving and feeling like it's like you're on this adventure.
Where Sonic went wrong in the games is they try to make Sonic fit in the real world.
And
Sonic,
that's literally what they did with the movie.
and yeah, I mean, crucify me, Sonic fans out there, but and that's what I had asked you if you ever played Sonic 4,
Yeah.
right?
Is that what they did?
Well,
in
they
in that
went
game?
back. That was the one they said, you know what, we're going back to 2D basics, baby.
Hey!
We're gonna make a side-scrolling 2D Sonic game.
Because you,
They went back, and then
yeah,
I think some people like it, but it's literally just Sonic 2, Sonic 3 with dope-ass graphics. That's all it is, and it's good. But then they came back and they said, we're going even further back. We're going to get rid of the fancy graphics, and we're going to do Sonic Mania. That's the
Okay.
last one that came out.
okay, Sonic
Introduced
Mania.
a new character. It's got classic gameplay,
Yeah,
classic graphics, and anytime one of these franchises goes back to the basics, it goes back to what made it good. Street Fighter, Tekken, fighting games, any of these game franchises that through the years on new consoles, they've tried to push and change the game. No. People always dislike and go back to what makes you a Sonic game. 2D, side-scrolling, gotta go fast, but then add that and then that's what Sonic Adventure did really well is
Okay.
add that three-dimensional, that 3D loop-de-loops and all that crazy upside-down shit and take it to the next level, but at the same time being that 2D platformer. I feel in the beginning of this movie when we saw Baby Sonic in his home world, or that might not have even been his home world, but in that world,
but yeah, where he was. At
that is
time.
what we had at that moment. That was our Sonic 1 and 2.
Yeah,
But then it felt like we just went through that ring into the real world. And you know what? I'm sorry to say this, dude, but Sonic don't belong in the real world.
and you see a lot of movies that are trying to do that, like you said, is take these video games and then place them in the real world. But what we fell in love with the video games is the fact that they were in their own
Different
world.
worlds. Their
So
own worlds.
so you have like Super Mario Bros. the
I don't
movie.
want to see him in New York, dude. I don't want to
Exactly.
see him in New
You
York.
want to see them in Mario
The
World,
Mushroom Kingdom.
the Mushroom Kingdom,
Yeah.
with Koopa and Troopas and everything.
Yeah.
And that movie was a little more practical, but like you take that movie now, don't put him in the real world.
Yeah.
Put him in Super Mario World.
Like I
That's what
said,
we want to see is Sonic
This movie
in Sonic
is
Worlds.
the Mario Brothers movie. This
Exactly.
Sonic kind of is.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not great. It's not shitty.
Yeah.
It'll take you a couple watches to actually probably like it.
I like it a lot.
The more you watch
I do like the movie.
Sonic, the more you watch Mario Brothers,
Mhm.
John Leguizamo and stuff, the more you like it.
Yeah, it's a classic film for me.
Mhm.
I grew up watching it. I love it. There's 3 Marios between us. I'm Mario, and that's Luigi Mario. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I feel like Sonic and Sega maybe took a page out of that book, and they were like, well, you know, it worked. It kind of worked for Mario Bros. Super
They
Mario
didn't
Bros.
go out on a limb.
They didn't take a lot of chances.
They took 0 chances.
Yeah.
They literally copy and pasted the plot, the characters, the arcs, everything. I mentioned it when we were watching
you said
it.
we've seen it.
This
we've
is
seen
nothing we haven't seen 100 times.
Yeah.
All it does is have Sonic in it.
Yeah, so it just took Sonic and it added it to the real world, and that classic bar fight scene. It's a bar fight. There's plenty of other bar fights, and then you have the slow mo scene where literally the Flash has done it, Quicksilver's done it. All these movies now,
And it
who
wasn't
have
even that
speed
good in
characters.
this movie.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. I remember the
music.
Quicksilver one was really good, and that's what it was.
The music
Is the
sucked.
Quicksilver one has a
Epic
really
song.
good song when he's doing his slow mo, and it's almost funny, it's comical, and this one it just kind of falls short.
Besides them eating chili dogs.
That's the one thing that you liked about it.
That's all I wanted was just Sonic eating chili dogs.
And then they're in the hotel room and they have him fart from the chili
He
dogs,
farts from the chili dogs.
and so it's very
It's a kid's film.
kid comedy.
It's a kid's film.
It's a very much kid comedy.
And that's fine.
But then it does have stuff for adults. It has a couple things.
they didn't even kiss, dude. At the end of the movie,
yeah,
I thought they were going to kiss. And the fact that they didn't kiss
they were
shows
like
me even much more that it was targeted for children.
kids. Yeah,
But
they were like that couple that
if I had
is
a,
married and sleeps in separate beds and shit.
if I had a kid, I would have been so happy, proud to take my child to see a Sonic movie.
see
though.
Sonic.
I think that would have been cool.
And I think they capitalized on that.
Yeah.
They knew that there was a lot of adults who probably got kids now who grew up with Sonic,
Yeah.
and they were like, well, we're going to make something for them and their families.
Yes.
It's very smart.
Mhm.
This movie is very smart with marketing. But what I would love to see in a part 2 is take the goods about this movie and then take the bads about this movie and improve upon them.
Yeah.
Add some more epic music scores. Add some 90s songs. Go to different planets. That's the one thing that I was hoping when they were having that fight scene and he's going to like Egypt and New York and San Francisco when he's throwing the rings. I would have loved to see him go into different worlds and Eggman's following him from world to world.
Right in the beginning when Baby Sonic was running in the Sonic world and he's
Mhm.
talking about the loop-de-loops and you see the bridge
Yeah.
fall.
Classic.
That scene when he's going through the rings you're talking about,
Mhm.
that would have been the best moment to show you all those other worlds, maybe a couple from the games.
'Cause now
Real quick. Be like,
Warp
oh
Zone.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Warp Zone 5.
Yeah, like,
You know?
and I think that would have been a very impressive and smart thing to do.
Because now you just built worlds.
Yes.
World building, character building in just like quick glimpses, and
Mhm.
it's fan service because only fans are gonna know that. It's almost like the Sega Genesis logo on the thing. You're a Sega Genesis fan?
Saturn.
Sega Saturn,
And that meme
You caught it.
Sonic on the
and
paper.
the meme Sonic.
Yeah.
See, so there's things about this that there's little Easter eggs, and you
Of
catch
course.
them. and they're good.
You could tell the people, the dudes that wrote this movie or whatever, whoever they are, that you could tell that they had a love for Sonic.
They're Sonic fans.
They put in these little things, these little tidbits and these Easter eggs, and you could tell that there was love. I really feel though, watching this movie, that the studio really held this movie back and said, "We're not only it's a kids film. We're only gonna allow you these avenues. You better cram your story and your shots into this little time frame, and it better have X, Y, and Z." And it just was cut to pieces.
Very much. It was cookie cutter. Cookie cutter.
Yeah. And my biggest thing, another final gripe, is the sound was bad. I'm gonna say it 1,000 times, but it was the environments were so distasteful.
They went to San Francisco and spent like a minute in San Francisco.
The car scene on the freeway, so bland, so boring. The on top of the skyscraper, you're on a skyscraper and you don't even take advantage of it. Just showed them against a wall, the human characters. I'm like, you don't even make them turn around, like see the skyline.
You don't see the skyline of the city.
Well, you kind of do, but they don't capitalize on those shots.
Yeah.
The epicness. There was no epicness to any of the shots. It was very dull. The bar, boring. The freeway scene, boring. Wet freeway that we've seen in movies a million times. You're in a hotel room, boring. You're in a building, boring. Now you're on top of the fucking building, but you're looking at the wall, boring. Boring. You're in a house again. Now you're in another house. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Boring.
It's very real world.
What were some of the coolest scenes? Sonic in his cave.
Sonic at the baseball field.
Sonic in his world.
Mm-hmm.
Those look cinematic. Those look fun and engaging. Everything else looked like they had to go to lot B and shoot everything on a green screen or in select little towns, and it was drab. It was unimaginative. There was lack of color. I wanted to see color. I wanted to see things pop. I wanted to see
vibrant.
I wanted to see little creatures in Sonic's world. Like, oh, look at that little caterpillar alien bug. Like,
you barely even see any.
You don't see anything.
Yeah.
No mention.
The owl, and then
no mention
those people chasing them.
To anything that has anything to do with Sonic, which is the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
Right? Which we're going to get into on the second movie, because the Tails is going to be like, Sonic, they're going, Knuckles, they're going after the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic's going to be like, what the hell is the Chaos Emeralds, Tails?
Because he's never seen them.
You don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that this movie, it's not the best, it's not the greatest, but it is something to build upon.
Yeah.
It is something to get out. It's already out there. It's like, hey, you got your first movie out there? All right, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do.
Some of the stuff that I loved about the Sonic movie, because I know we like just bashing it, and there's a lot that
I enjoyed it.
There's a lot that wasn't good about it, but some of the stuff that I did like about it was when Sonic actually used his abilities, used his powers.
Oh God, yeah.
When his eyes got that deep blue and he's charging up, and then boom.
Yeah.
And you just see the electricity, and he knocks out all the power lines, and all the power goes out in the city. I remember you were like, that's cool.
Yeah, it was something to see.
So every time Sonic used his powers, and then when he got in the fight with Dr. Robotnik, you were like, that's what I've been waiting to see the whole movie. Like, just that right there. Just give me more of that.
Yeah.
And so the parts that were good, I, much like you, felt myself wanting more of that. When he's chasing him, and even though I didn't like that he went from town to town, like you see him in Egypt, you see him at Great Wall of China, I did like that he was like going through these things, what made it seem like it was like he was in his world, like he's speeding through the Great Wall of China. I was just waiting for it to like loop, and he goes up the pyramid, and then he jumps into the other ring, and so it was cool that they used like this world stuff.
They used wonders. Even Robotnik said it.
Yeah, he's like, that's the seventh wonder.
Yeah, it's one of the 7 wonders.
And Robotnik has some really good classic lines, but then sometimes he falls short, and that's coming from watching him a second time. The first time I was like, it was like seeing Jim Carrey, classic Jim Carrey again.
Classic Jim Carrey.
And so I think I was immersed in his character.
Mm-hmm.
But now seeing him removed from maybe that theater setting and just being in awe of the first Sonic movie, some of the stuff he says, I'm just like, it kind of falls short. And
He's
he like turns to the camera and he's like, "Do you ever wonder where your government spending is going? Like,
yeah, government tax dollars.
what does that have to do with the movie?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well,
I don't.
Jim Jim Carrey saved this movie.
He did.
Like I had mentioned it, and just put this thought in your mind. Close your eyes.
His character's very weird.
Close your eyes and say and think of if this movie came out with that original Sonic design and no Jim Carrey as Robotnik, this would have been the biggest
100%
meme
trash.
of all time. This movie would be a legitimate meme on how shitty it is.
You would have had those funny Sonic gifs.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just all.
yeah. He's just all like, "Urgh." At the end of the day, the movie
What did,
honestly was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought this movie was going to be
yeah.
a giant bomb.
What did you love about it? What were some of the parts that you loved? Because I said about what I loved, and when he uses his abilities.
I just want to see. I didn't even get into the Transformers comparison, but
Oh,
basically,
there's a lot. Yeah.
I get it. What it is, it's a movie. You need marketing. You need advertisements. You need humans. But I'm not gonna watch a Sonic movie for the humans. I want to see Amy. I want to see Knuckles. I want to see Sonic characters.
Yeah.
I don't want to see humans. I don't want to see the world.
You want to see their interactions with each other,
I
their
wanna
character
see
building.
their story.
Yeah.
And obviously they set the tone. This was a Sonic Begins. Dark Knight Begins, Batman Begins, whatever. This was Sonic Begins, dude. This was just setting that world building.
It's the testing ground.
Now
yeah.
the second movie, you know who Sonic is.
You can open it up a little bit.
You know who the Donut Lord is.
I want to see more Donut Lord. I think
Yeah.
he did great in it.
You're going to be introduced to the new things now, and I think that's what's going to be really good about the second movie is you're going to be introduced to other worlds. You're going to be because Tails is going to be able to go back and forth. See?
Yeah.
You're going to be introduced to the Chaos Emeralds. You're going to be introduced to Tails, and you're going to be introduced onto. See, Tails is going to bring with him the actual story,
Exactly.
not the Donut Lord story about him moving to San Francisco and he has to
Yeah.
reroute his family and everyone he loves and everything like that, and nobody gives a shit.
I think it's going to be great to see the Donut Lord plucked from Earth
Into this
and
world.
thrown into the mushroom world.
Then I'll care about. Then I'll care about the human characters.
exactly
put them
because
in
now
their world.
now he's in their world, and so he has to deal with everything
guess
that's
who's
going on
responsible?
around him.
Sonic would be responsible for them.
Exactly, because it's your world, Sonic. You should know what's happening. You should know what's going on.
And in this movie, it was like the Donut Lord, Cyclops, Scott Summers. He was responsible for Sonic.
I just remember him in Superman Returns.
He was responsible
Yeah,
for Sonic this movie because Sonic was like the child.
yeah, he saved his life.
And this was a family movie. At the end of the day, it was a coming together of a family.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Because Sonic now, his cave
he's got a family.
is in the attic. He's got a family. He's
That
part
was-
of a family.
That was the one message: is he was missing that friends and family. He was on a world where he didn't know anybody.
He was alone.
He was in the background. He attached himself to all these people around him, but they didn't know he was there.
Correct.
And so you do feel for Sonic in a little bit. And I remember you saying that you were like, "Oh, they're trying to make you feel sorry for Sonic." Like, okay, like they're playing on that. And by the end of the movie, they set that up. He's now a part of the family. They move him in the house.
There's some establishment now going
Yeah.
into the second movie, and this is
So you
what's
set it
going to
up.
be nuts. Is when Tails, I'm just going to foretell. Tails is going to Sonic. We got to go, dude.
Yeah.
Sonic is going to go.
Rips him away.
Yep, and Sonic is going to go. I'm not going anywhere.
This is my family. I don't want
This
to
is
leave
my
them.
world.
Yeah.
This is my family. I don't want to leave them. And then that's what probably Donut Lord's going to go with them
Yeah.
and go. I need to look out for you because we're best buds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I kind of got a little chills. I like it. Okay, I like the
It's a good movie.
concept.
It's a good movie.
I just feel like maybe, hopefully, with the second movie, they're gonna have more funding and allow the creators to create a little bit more. Because I feel
Yeah.
like this movie had a lot of restrictions on it, and
They kept him in a box.
They didn't really express maybe the way they wanted to express the story, or shoot the way where they wanted to shoot and stuff like that.
They played it safe.
They did. And
Played
hey,
it safe for the
to get the first
Sonic
movie to come out,
you're gonna almost do whatever the studio wants you to,
kind
right?
of, yeah.
So whether it be Sega or the writers, they're like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of what I want to do for the fact that we're going to get a
We're
Sonic
trying
movie.
to build a franchise.
And that's the thing you have to keep in mind is if you want to build a franchise, a foundation has to be built on something.
Yeah. And I'm ready. Give it to me.
Man of Steel.
How did you go all the years of your life and not know Tails' name was Miles?
I don't pay attention to a player 2 name like that.
Oh, but I thought Luigi was the best.
Luigi's always been player 1.
What if I
no
told
matter if
you-
you say he's player 2?
What if I told you Tails, Miles, is far better than Luigi?
You're tripping. That's like saying Sega is better than Nintendo.
It is.
Then why Nintendo
Who's better, Sonic
do
or
what Sega don't?
who's better, Sonic or Mario?
Till next time. Find out next time on B2DB. Well, what more can we say, everybody? Sonic 2, give it to me, man.
Mind blown.
Oh, man, that was an interesting conversation. Josh was bashing on the movie the whole time. You still feel the same way?
Nah, dude. Okay, so I've watched the movie a couple times, and it's a cool direction. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was a taste of things to come.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a good movie.
I enjoyed
It's
it.
a good film.
And I want more of me, Miles.
Oh, man.
Sonic and Miles movie.
You still on that?
Yeah, get the name right.
Don't nobody know who Miles is. It's Tails, man. Tails
Slap
all
you
day.
in the face with both of my tails.
Sonic and Tails. That's what part 2 should be called, though, right?
Yeah. Let's get some Chaos Emeralds.
Oh, give me all them emeralds.
Let's do it. And just remind everybody out there, there's an audio and a video form of every episode of the podcast. We appreciate your time and energy. Hope you had fun with this conversation because
Heck yeah.
it was a tough one.
And you can find us on every major social media platform. YouTube, we have the video version of our podcast, so check us out there.
Yeah.
And our website, backtodebasics.com, for all our shenanigans. Stay up to date. Subscribe,
Do it,
hit
baby.
that bell, and stay tuned to next week's episode
and
of Back to the Basics.
And until next week, friends, remember, stay nostalgic on that.
Stay nostalgic. Oh, 100.
Stay nostalgic on that eternal quest to get back to the basics, baby.
Yee.